Hi. You would be surprised to know that about 60% of Indians who fall into the category of the working population want to start something of their own. They want to have their own venture. They want to be self employed. However, there are a few things which are mandatory when you want to start a business of your own, when you want to have a setup of your own. And these are four things. How innovative are you? Because that's going to ultimately decide, that's going to differentiate you with other people who are into the same business. And if you want to have more business, offer people something extra. When that extra is talked about, that extra should be good, the quality should be better, and maybe there has to be some level of creativity required so that your product, your service comes across as a better option for people so that they go for it. Then there is funding. How well are you funded? How supportive is the administration? Then comes, of course, and it is in random order, your education. Education is not just knowing about concepts and the knowledge that you gain from knowing those concepts. It's the confidence that it gives you. You don't feel any lesser than people who have more degrees. So you have to have a certain level of education. I'm not just talking about literacy, to be more aware. So that when you are sitting in people, you understand what they're talking about. You don't feel that you lost out on anything. Then of course, a very, very important factor is fear of failure. If this fear has trapped you, there's no way you can go forward. So, you may have a lot of ideas, you may feel that you're very creative, you may have cracked the code of success, but it's as long as it is only in your mind, it's not going anywhere until unless you concretize it. And how do you concretize it? There has to be a fire. Now that fire is the confidence. That fire helps you take risk. Now, as per the researchers that are done in this field, India has been found to have a very high level of fear of failure. Now, this happens especially to people who have a little to lose, because there are nations like Angola and a lot of African nations where who have scored much higher as far as confidence to do a certain thing is concerned, because you don't have much to lose. That doesn't mean that you have to you have to have this fear. However, to compensate the fear of losing, the confidence that you'll make it has to be more to nullify that fear. Now, you might have, as Indians, we might have noticed that there were people, the grandparents who would save things to an extent of hoarding things. And when you open the almirah or the chest that they used to keep with themselves, you find so many different things that they kept which were not even required, and that was just indicative of the fear that they had, that was in their psyche, that they might lose. What if everything goes away? This particular thing might come in handy. So that's pretty much the case on a national level as well. If you hoard resources, do not put them in productive use. That's only indicative that the economy does not give you the confidence that you can take risk. So all those nations where the economy is has undergone a lot of instability, it has left people feel more insecure about their future. And when they're insecure about their future, their ability to take risk diminishes, so they would rather do a job, or they take up an employment, no matter how less paying it is, no matter how less rewarding it is, in comparison to starting a business of their own. So Let me go point wise. So when we talk about enterprising people, what do they have in themselves? They are creative enough to innovate so that they can say with confidence that their product is better than the rest who are providing the same service or the product. When if you yourself delve into the data regarding this topic, you'll find that the maximum startups in the world, in all the countries, there are about 195 countries, so and a few of them actively participate in economic researches, or they find their place in economic databases. So US tops the list. That's United States has maximum number of startups, and it's in the field of health and education, it's in the field of technology, retail. So that's one place we need to look out to. We need to zoom in our attention to all the countries who do well, because they must be doing something right. They must be doing something right to be on the place that they are at. So United States, in case of United States, it has been found out that they get a lot of administration support. They get a very easy funding, in the form of credit, in the form of subsidies, in the form of other such financial support. A great capital market they have. So that's there. So it's when you have a harness, when you have something to support you, to something to take care of you when you fall, walking on that trapeze gets easier. You would take the risk, right? But the real shocker came when you found that the most entrepreneurial countries would have countries like Chile. Now I always have a predisposition to call it child, but then Chile, the South American country. Then we also have India, but then again, this order may differ because different researchers have different countries at different places, but by and large in a certain range. So Chile, India, Guatemala, Canada, Luxembourg, Angola, see, 121st rank it has, 127th or 121st on the per capita income list. Yet they are the people there, they are such go-getters. They have a lot of fire in the belly. They don't have much to lose. At the same time, when any country does not provide jobs to people have to survive some way or the other. So they start thinking and working towards having something of their own so that they can keep the ball rolling. All right, so Angola, then we have, of course, United States is always doing well. So not just it is a blessed country in terms of resources, it also has good leadership. They are also innovative. Let's give them the credit that they so deserve. Otherwise, this consistency in high ranking cannot be maintained. All right, so we must see what successful people are doing, and if something can be imbibed, because it's all about learning. Learning should be a continuous curve, right? So what you could find, as I was talking about Angola and other nations also, like Morocco, that also does well in their people having enterprising quality. So when you don't have good employments and you have to sustain, you get creative, you take risks, and you don't have much to lose, right? So in that, and by the same token, even if you compare the states of India, you'll see that Madhya Pradesh does the best. It has 47% people saying that they want to start something of their own. Then there is Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. You have West Bengal. All such states. that might not be, of course West Bengal is a much more prosperous state than Madhya Pradesh, then, but what the fact is, if you don't have good employments, you start thinking of doing something of your own. So that could be a reason with Angola. Now, talking about specifically about fear of failure, which is most crippling, and India is high on this list. It has more than 50%, as I said, people crippled by this fear, that what if they lose everything that they have invested. Now, taking cues from Chile, what they have done, they have classes, they have courses where they systematically, stage by stage, instill the budding entrepreneurs with the right cues. So pretty much like as you enroll in university, what you do, you have an entrance exam. So there's a scanning exam, not exam, let's not call it exam. There's a scanning at the first stage. How serious are you to start your own venture? And how much do you know? How much potential do you show in terms of motivation? And how much creativity do you have? So basically, how much fire in the belly to start something? Okay, so that's scanning. And then you are taught how to register yourself for funding. Recently, in my last video, I spoke about that the government, while announcing their COVID relief package, they introduced a lot of flexible policies for people to get motivated to borrow loans, to borrow funds. But most of the people that I spoke to in person, they did not know about this website where they could go on and register, put in their Aadhaar card number and apply for loan. So what can be done through these classes? And that's how people get inducted, right? So first you've cleared the scanning process. You are taught how you can apply for funds. Then how creative can you possibly get in a particular field that you're choosing, and where to start your business so that your business gets most cost effective. This is what this country is doing. So hats off to Chile that has produced so many entrepreneurial people, and the reflection of it is of course on the GDP. Even in India, we have about 30 to 40% GDP coming from small scale, medium scale industries. So this particular quality can take us far. I really hope that instead of putting 500 rupees in the accounts, bank accounts that rural population and some urban population have now, and some of them don't even operate that account. Instead of that, that money could be used in making the working population more business oriented. Instead of maybe passing a comment that, all right, why don't you fry fritters, but do something of your own. Something really systematic, structured can take people a long way. Once one generation of business owners, they learn the tricks of the trade, they can teach the next generation to be so. So this can be the vision and mission of the administration, to take this fear seriously, fear of failure, and work on it. So I guess that's it for now. Bye.